Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. I got this idea some time ago and then I got it once again on Anime King 3. Sorry that it took this long, but let us dive into a new Naruto universe. This time, what if Konoha created Compound V? Yes, Compound V from The Boys, the TV show. If you're not aware of it, I suggest going and watching it. It's pretty awesome. So let us venture into a world where Konoha creates Compound V and let us see how things are changed and twisted in many different ways. I also place a new series over on Anime King of what if Naruto was a Meizo from the Justice League series, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy. Don't forget, if you're new, to comment your ideas if you want them to be done by me. And all the links will be down in the description for the other channels, so don't forget to go ahead, check them out and enjoy. So without further ado or wasting more time, let us begin this now guys. Our story begins with the Second Hokage. Tobirama Senju was a brilliant man. He was a smart man that created a lot, did a lot. But as time passed on, he started to see that it wasn't enough. Despite his overwhelming presence that seemed to intimidate most people, what many did not see was fear. Yes, he was afraid. The fear of losing Konoha. The fear of another Madara rising despite all the precautions that he put in place. The fear of Konoha being destroyed and being seen as nothing. He feared the Senju and the Uchiha bloodline, despite their, presence to join with them now wasn't enough to keep his brother dream alive. If his brother could fall, what did that say for anyone else, including himself? His brother was a god amongst men, and yet, even he could die. Thus, late one night, deep beneath the Hokage Tower, Tobirama began a secret project. He gathered the best scientists, the best medical ninjas, the best sealing masters. He gathered them all. They studied bloodline, chakra flow, nature itself. After months of testing and sacrificing, they created something that would forever change the world. It was small, glowing in a blue vial, shimmering like destiny itself. They dubbed it Compound V. Tobirama said that it was a gift, a new way to make shinobi stronger. But it wasn't the entire truth. It was a gift, alright, but it was also a weapon, a way to create gods walking amongst men. His brother was one of them. Why not create an entire army of gods? When the first experiments began, only the strongest and the most loyal were chosen. A handful of shinobis were injected. Within days, power started to explode. Some could move faster than the eye could follow, crush stones with their bare hands, summon lightning without hand signs. Konoha enemies did not stand a chance. Where the Second Hokage old jutsus could kill armies, this could wipe out dozens of armies. These new shinobis, these new weapons, they weren't shinobis anymore. They were living weapons. The other nations fear Konoha even more for their overwhelming might. Skirmishes were completely resolved in days, sometimes hours. People call it a miracle. Tobirama called it progress. But with power came pride, and with pride, corruption began. Word had spread quickly. Someone, a traitor or a spy, stole a vial of Compound V and sold it to the other nations. Before long, every village was experimenting, trying to create their own Supes. But no matter what they did, none could match Konoha's strength. The land of lightning, the land of stone, the sand village. They tried to create their own working result, but majority of the time it was unstable. They were able to get a good few vials, but it still wasn't enough. Konoha had the perfection. Some whispered in conspiracy that Tobirama was the one that released some of the Compound V. For what reason? For the other nations to see how inadequate they were. But why? The powers were random. Many believed that they couldn't understand what was going through that man's head. Well, these were just rumors. Hopefully. But others started to gain abilities. But even then, their powers paled in comparison when it came to Konoha, as they started to manifestate some monsters. Years passed. Tobirama fell. As the experiments continue, by the time Minato Namikaze became Hokage, Konoha was number 1, and that would not change anytime soon. Konoha's Supes were on a different level entirely, and the greatest of them all, Minato Namikaze. He was given Compound V as a young child, and he was turned into a monster amongst monsters. They call him the Homelander. He became something the world had never seen. A man who could fly like lightning. He had heat vision that could melt the mountains. He could shatter entire valleys with a punch. He was a monster amongst men. He became the light of Konoha, those who dared to step to the village. Their entire army or platoon were vivisected. And then we have his wife, the beautiful Kushina Uzumaki. Her clan, the Uzumaki clan, who had refused to take any of this Compound V. They were wiped out. She was one of the few survivors. She was given Compound V. At first it healed her pain. It gave her powers beyond her imagination. But the hate in her heart only grew. As the war was at its peak, those who were responsible for her clan demise, she electrocuted them without mercy. She was known as Stormfront. She could fly, super strength. She also possessed a crimson electricity that was extremely powerful. She took her revenge out on entire settlements, entire camps. Her and Minato start to see people as less, those without power, those that could not fly. They were weak, while they were in the skies as gods. Together they ruled the skies. Their power was unmatched. No one dared to oppose them. No one ever tried. And Konoha, they became the kingdom of Supes. Their Supes far stronger than any across the other nation. They were greater. They were better. In this new world, normal people were seen as weak. Ordinary shinobis were slowly pushed aside. Children of powerful clans were injected when they were still extremely young. If the serum worked, they were celebrated. If it didn't, they were forgotten. Power became everything. Village no longer fought for peace. They fought for perfection. And Konoha stood proudly above them all, calling themselves the homes of gods. When the day came, and the two strongest was gonna have a child, everyone was overjoyed. They can only imagine the power this child would possess. There has been natural born Supes before, and they were twice as strong as their parents. So imagine, it would be a miracle. They named him Naruto. Naruto Namikaze, as he proudly carries his father's name. However, something was wrong. Yes, something was gravely wrong. The child was not born with any power. That was okay. They will simply inject him with a compound V to kickstart his abilities. However, as they all came together, the process was supposed to be instantaneous. When the needle pierced his skin as he cried, the serum flowed into his blood. They waited, and waited, and waited. No lightning, no aura, no glow. Nothing. The machines remained stable, showing that the process was not working. The compound V lay dormant in his system, delivering nothing. Disappointment. On that day, the report was written. Subject Naruto Uzumaki. Serum. Inactive. To them, Naruto was a disappointment, a stain on their perfect family. Minato turned away. Kushina rarely speak his name. He was supposed to be their pride and joy, but he turned out to be their biggest failure. As Naruto grew, he started to understand that. When he was 2 years old, the twins were born, Mito and Menma. They did not need compound V, they were born with it. Yes. As it started to show early, Menma moving, leaping over buildings. His speed unmatched, not as fast as his father, but for children, he was the greatest. Mito started to shoot lightning from her fingertips. These children were extremely special. Extremely. They gained the strength, the flight, the heat vision, and the electricity. Both of their parents combined, and their power seemed to be growing by the day, evolving, making them stronger. They were raised with superiority. They were raised to be seen as the better. They were raised to be seen as blessed. Their very existence was a praise. Villagers calling them the young prince, young princess. They were raised to feel better than everyone else. And in the shadows, their older brother was treated like dirt, even by them. They were disappointed. Their mother and father taught them the mindset that they had. Thus, when they saw him, they were disappointed. They did not socialize with him. It would make them seem pathetic as well. They did not hold their words. All he ever wanted was love. However, all they ever showed him was contempt. They had a lot of parties, a lot of wealthy people across the nation, a lot of invites, as others tried to get the Konoha Supes in their own forces and military to work for them, to guard their borders, to protect their people, making other villages obsolete. Whenever Naruto was seen or brought up, they were disappointed, gravely so. They couldn't take it anymore. It was on that night Naruto truly shattered. He stood in front of both of his parents. They needed to talk to him. It was that night. His mother started so casually. His father's ended so sweetly, like it was something good for him. You want me out of the house? Yes, Kushina said. You've been a disappointment to our name, she said, looking at him straight in the eyes. She's right, said Minato. Whenever we have our social gathering, they bring you up. You're constant, interfering, is proving to be something that we can't sustain anymore. But I'm your son, Naruto said. Yes, but we can't afford to have you remain here. Don't cry, Kushina said harshly, gazing down towards her 7-year-old child. Her mindset as she gazed towards her son despite him being her own blood. He was not worthy. Simple as that. He was not worthy of their name, their legacy, because he was not special. From now on, you will live away from the compound. We will come to visit you sometimes. Promise, said Minato. And from now on, you will refer to yourself as Naruto. Just Naruto. Is that understood? They spoke it so casually. They talked to him with understanding, like this was supposed to make him happy. Like this was alright. Yet as he stood there, knowing that crying would not change anything, he was hurt in his very soul as their words stripped away at him. Menma and Mito, they came down, curious what was going on. Naruto turned toward his siblings. They were younger than him, 5 years old, but they were smart enough to understand. They want to kick me out of the house. Just because I'm not like you guys, just because I don't have powers. They're right. I can't keep defending you to my friends. Our connection make us look pathetic, said Mito. She's right. It's best if we distance ourselves. Mom and Dad already told us how this is going to go. You talked to them about this? Naruto said, tears welling up in his eyes. Don't worry. Your needs will be taken care of. It's just, we are severing your connection to our family. It was on that day, that feeling in his chest, that sensation that a child look up towards his parents and family to feel it was gone. It died on that day. It died. He was moved out, far away, across the goddamn village. They were there the first day. They set everything up. They gave him monthly allowance. Never in person, of course. He was never to use the Namikaze or Uzumaki name ever again. From that moment on, he wasn't a part of their family anymore. They cut him out like a virus. None of the others, Kakashi Hatake, Jiraiya, they never looked his way. They sided with his parents. Naruto saw many others living in this area, many children, as they seemed to be lacking the compound V. Some people, it is said that it was their chakra. It didn't work on them. Naruto saw many parents hating their children just because they weren't special. Their social standing was down. But they were still there. But him, on the other hand, his parents kicked him out. They kicked him out. On his birthday, he expected them to come. He expected something to tell him that he was worth going on, to worth living. But nothing. Nothing at all. He was alone. He was abandoned. He never saw them. He did not go to the school that the Supes went to. He went to a regular school. And the tower was all the way over there. Not to mention, they had no need to come here. He heard about them, but he never saw them. Despite being in the same village, they went out of their way to forget him. When the celebration took place, on the stage they praised their two and only children. Naruto simply sank away in the background. As he returned back home, dark thoughts plagued his mind. He couldn't live like this anymore. He didn't want to live like this anymore. Perhaps he deserved this. His parents already made it clear that he was a failure, that he deserved nothing, that he was pathetic. It was that night, as Naruto grabbed the kitchen knife, having to learn how to cook and everything for himself. He went to the extreme levels. He just wanted it to be over. However, the next morning when he opened his eyes, seeing the remnants of blood on the ground, he never thought he would wake up again here. It seems that he even sucked at doing this. He tried again, but as the fogginess of his mind took over, he still woke up hours later. He cried the entire night, screaming out for something, for someone, begging for something. He couldn't take this feeling anymore, knowing that he was a disgrace, that he did not belong anywhere. He had no family, he had no friends, he had no one. He was just a child. But nothing. He got nothing. He lay there. Maybe not even death wanted him. Naruto shut himself off, closing himself off to everything and everyone. As Naruto stepped outside, it was nighttime. He had nowhere to go. He sat down by his door, just looking at nothing. Hey there. He was knocked out of his thoughts by a soft voice. Looking up, he saw a girl. She was around a year older than him. Are you okay? She asks. Her radiant smile, coupled by her lavender hair, her dark blue eyes, it affected him. He nodded that he was okay. You don't seem okay, she said. Mind if I? He nodded as she sat down. So, what's up? She questioned. He didn't want to talk to her. He told himself that he wasn't worthy of being close to anyone. That must be the reason, right? Yet she kept on talking. He learned her name. Her name was Luna. Luna was an orphan, having recently been given an apartment in this complex. The serum failed on her. You see, Konoha had a program for orphans where they were specially tasked to be injected at a young age. Luna was one of them. Those who succeeded were placed in a special program for new Supes depending on their abilities. Luna, on the other hand, the serum did not work. She had the, strange chakra, as many did, that did not utilize with the serum well. But she wanted to make something of herself. However, Naruto couldn't understand. The world, it's not for people like them. They're treated like garbage. I know, she said with a smile. That is why I'm trying to become a ninja, to at least get out there to make something of myself. Her confidence, that overwhelming ray of support inside of her, it affected him greatly. Him and Luna were going to the same academy. They were being taught to become ninjas. While they weren't Supes, they could still use their chakra. They became friends quickly. They lived right beside each other after all. Naruto did not speak much about his past on his former parents' orders. It wasn't his past anymore to tell. However, he told her that he was an orphan. No last name. Luna and him became best friends. Weeks, months. They spent a lot of time together, hanging out, cooking over each other's apartment, keeping each other going. Whenever she feels sad or overwhelmed, he was always there. Whenever he feel depressed, she was there. He told her about some of the darkest moments where he pushed himself over the edge. She hugged him that day, telling him to not do that ever again. That pain is one thing, but giving up your life is another. Her words inspire him to continue on. Thus Naruto lived, if not for himself, for his best friend. As time went by, Naruto slowly forgot about his former family. They didn't want to have anything to do with him. He didn't want to have anything to do with them. He even made other friends in the academy. As him and Luna became close, best of friends. Before they knew it, the both of them found themselves graduating in the next 2 months. Naruto was happy, hoping and praying that they were on the same team to explore the world together. They sat at night, countless time talking about their dreams. He didn't have any, so she told him that he could borrow hers to explore the world, to, well, have a life worth living. He supposed that was a good dream, as he never really had any to look forward to. Things were going well. Yes, very well. Her birthday was coming up. And Naruto wanted to make something special. She knew that he was up to something. She decided to tag along, despite him saying that he wanted to keep it a secret. However, Naruto could have turned back, told himself that he would get the items another day. Her birthday was in 5 days. But he decided to go on, not knowing why there was a pit in his stomach, as him and Luna made their way. As they were walking and they were talking, there was a lot of crowd on the street, so she held his hand. Naruto smiled as he walked forward, making his way towards the... What's this? Naruto thought, confused. He didn't understand. Blood. A lot of it. It splashed across his face. Naruto stood there. As he... What's going on? Naruto thought to himself, turning his gaze. As he was holding on to Luna's hand, but that was all that he was holding. There was nothing there. No torso, no legs, no head. The street had been parted. She was not the only one. Minato Namikaze, Homelander, stepped by Naruto, not even looking his way. Naruto turned as he saw the remains of Luna crushed against the wall, behind the villain that was thrown. You see, Konoha had been infiltrated. A group. They threatened to cause mayhem and destruction. Minato saw the opportunity and take it. A punch crushed the man's chest. His body was sent sailing. He was a bit reinforced, but not strong enough. But the force was enough to completely rip Luna's arm off and crush her in the wall. Her along with a few others. Naruto stood there. Everything seemed to not register in his mind. The street had been cleared. Someone grabbed him, removing him from the area as he saw his father. That word, father, came to mind, dispatching the others. Naruto was brought in. He was brought into a location where others were crying at those who died that day. After a while, their great leader arrived, apologizing to them. The hand had been taken away from Naruto. Their great leader apologizing that it couldn't be helped. He saw Naruto, knowing who he was. But he didn't say anything special. It was the same sentence, same statement. But Naruto did not speak. He did not talk, he did not react. As he was let go, the blood still on him, Naruto made his way. He arrived home and lie on the bed. He just lie there, unmoving. He just lie there, gazing towards the ceiling. Finally, it seemed to finally react as a scream, unlike any other, ripped from his throat. He heard knocking from down and upstairs, the tenants telling him to shut up. He covered his head with a pillow and screamed, and he did not stop until he blacked out. He woke up in pain. Every second, every minute, every hour was pain. He could not move, he could not think properly, he could not react. A few people came by to learn everything about the ones that died. He heard them talking. She was an orphan. Well, seems we can get this one done quickly. No parents to explain to, or other family member. Naruto felt sick. He drew for the lamp. No hesitation and threw it. It smashed against the guy's head. The Supes that was standing there blinked. What the hell? Without hesitation, he gave Naruto a slap across the face that sent him into the wall. Enough, the other one said. It's just a stupid child. Then why the hell did he do that? He questioned. Perhaps he was close to the orphan girl. Let's just get out of here. With that, they left. As Naruto lay there, his back in agonizing pain. He lay there, and he did not move. As the heavens dark, the sky lit back up, he did not move. His stomach grumbled, his throat thirst. The pain did not make any sense. None of it did. Reality did not make any sense. All he ever wanted was someone to care for him. All he ever wanted was family, friends. Someone that would actually give a damn about him. And then she came into his life. She was everything. She gave him reason. She gave him purpose. Naruto stopped crying as he got to his feet. He went to the shop. He went to the shop and got the cinnamon. The special cinnamon that he wanted. As he made the cinnamon babka cake. He made it. He baked it. He's been preparing, knowing that she loved the spice. Once he was done, he put it down. He lit the candle. As he sang happy birthday, expecting her to walk through the door, he started to laugh. He's lost his mind. His laughter slowly turned to tears as he smashed the cake into the wall. He broke the table and threw it away. He dropped to his knees. Depression, sadness. No one else came. No one else spoke about her. It was like she never existed. That was that. From that speech that the Hokage gave. Not even glimpsing his existence there. Naruto just... he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to proceed forward. He didn't know how to continue anymore. His nights were spent dreaming that she was alive, only to wake up to run next door and see that it was empty. And soon someone else took over the place. Naruto's anger remained under the surface. It started to make him sick. He started to throw up. He started to hear things. He started to tremble. Cold. Hot. His body started to burn. He started to become sick from the very notion alone. As he threw up constantly, it's not stopping. He wheezed and coughed. He lay on the ground trembling, his whole body in pain and anguish. He felt like he was dying, and a part of him was happy. happy to accept it, happy to have it all just over. He didn't want to continue anymore. He didn't want to go on anymore. He just wanted it to be over. But once again, he remained. Once again, he was okay. Her words ricocheted through his mind. It's better to survive, to keep on going. But Naruto did not believe that it was. Teachers came by, noticing his absence, wanting to know if he was okay. They learned as they were looking for her as well. They learned of what happened to her. Understanding, they gave him time off, knowing how close they were. There were other kids in the class as well, children like them. Most of them were orphans that were trying to make something better for themselves. Those that weren't compatible with the compound V. There was a lot of them that came by. Their words went through one ear though, and went through the other, as Naruto barely recognized their words, their speech, whatever they had to say. One night, Naruto found himself simply walking down the street. He was just walking aimlessly. Since the incident, he didn't feel there was any reason to go on. He found himself just walking, not knowing where to go. A part of him just wanted to go home. Wanted his mother and father to hug him and tell him that everything was going to be alright. But his father looked at him and just looked away. He must have known, he must have found out exactly who she was. No, he didn't, because he didn't care. Naruto laughed to himself, that bitter feeling in his chest. He threw up once again, feeling more and more sick as the time went on, like there was some sort of parasite roaming inside of him. As Naruto walked, he heard something behind him. He was in a dark alley. He turned only to be chopped in the back of the neck. He fell face first as he was grabbed. When Naruto woke up, his hands were bound. His legs were bound. His mouth was covered. "So you're finally awake," a voice said. Naruto gazed upwards, having no idea where he was, but he was bound, being carried away. He could not speak due to the gag, but he did not care. He gave up in that moment, making his way. It did not take too long. Well, due to him not caring, time seemed to just flow by. The next thing he knew, he was brought into a place. His legs were free, his hands were free. As Naruto found himself gazing towards a man that he saw, a man that he've heard about, never seen in person though. His name was Orochimaru. He was once one of the Sanins of Konoha. This man was he wasn't a Supe. Naruto, he wasn't so sure. Naruto looked up. "Have you brought me here to kill me?" he questioned. "Of course not," Orochimaru said. "In fact, I brought you here to help you, to ensure that you get your dues." "Walk with me, child," he said. Naruto did as he was instructed, barely paying attention, just going along with the flow. Orochimaru started. "I know who you are. Your former parents, if I must say, went out of their way to erase you. Perhaps they did it for their own self-worth, or perhaps they just didn't want anyone to socialize your existence with theirs." "You know about that," said Naruto. "Yes, something I've been trying to get my hands on for some time now. You, that is. But your parents went out of their way to keep you a secret. The forgotten child of the most powerfulest, the Homelander and Stormfront. Orochimaru said with a smile. You mean the powerless one? Can I ask you a question? Said Naruto. What is that? Can you kill me? Orochimaru blinked. Excuse me? Can you kill me? You're powerful, right? I've tried myself, but I can't die. You can't, Orochimaru said. No, I always wake up. So can you do it? Kill me, Naruto said. And why would you want to die? Is it because you lost your friend? What was her name again? Ah yes, Luna. Naruto's eyes flashed with emotion for the first time since being here. Easy now, Orochimaru said. I understand your pain. You were tossed aside like garbage. And in a mere incident you lost the only person that cared about you, or that you cared about. I've been doing my research on you, testing the waters, and it seems like no one was looking out for your safety. But I'm sure that the past few days or weeks haven't been good. If anything, you asking me to claim your life. But no, that is not the right way to go. Where is that fire inside? Where is that rage? Rage at who? That won't bring her back. Yes, it won't. But what about those responsible? Starting with your parents. They kicked you out. They abandoned you because you weren't special like them. Your brother and sister, they're no different. Think of themselves as godly children, and you were garbage. Doesn't that anger you? Doesn't that make you want to see them suffer? And then your father turned the one you care about the most into smush against the wall. His defense, he was fighting an enemy. What if he was just reckless, not caring of the bystanders? After all, Supes are wicked people. You know that more than anyone, who only care about their image and their self-worth. So his reckless behavior in 1 second took everything away from you. Where's that fire that burned in your chest, knowing that his very existence should be prolonged, that he should suffer for what he did to you? Where is that fire that wants you to hunt them and kill them for what they did? Or are you still crave for their attention, for their affection? Naruto lay on the ground. As he stopped moving, I've thought about that thousands of times. But as you said, they're Supes. And what am I? A weak, worthless child who caused his only friend, his only hope in this world to die. There's no reason for me to go on, my very existence a curse. Born in the most powerful family, and yet I don't have any powers, and I can't get any. So no, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to feel any rage. All I want is it to be over. Fine then, Orochimaru said. I can kill you, as long as I get what I want first. You see, despite your body not producing any powers, I believe that you have a special essence of compound V in your system, traits that you gain from your parents, which I shall use to bring their downfall. So I will rip it out of you. You might die in the process. Okay, said Naruto. Just do what you have to do. I don't care anymore. The child has really given up. Orochimaru saw that. He was trying to create a future ally, but he could see when someone is broken. He was going to make the child willingly give himself over to him for experiments, but he did not care either way. Naruto was taken by two of Orochimaru's people. He was after something, not just the compound V within Naruto's system. Remember, he had it, but it was just inactive inside of him. Naruto was strapped down to a table. Orochimaru's process was incredibly painful. Yet, Naruto did not scream. A part of him accepting this pain because he knew deep down he deserved it, because everything was his fault. His very existence was a curse. He was never supposed to be born. Hours of relentless testing, Orochimaru trying to isolate the compound V. However, something was wrong. Orochimaru had seen others, but whenever he tried it on them, whenever the compound V left their system, it wasn't usable anymore. That is why he wanted to see if, while inside, if it was a different reaction between them and this boy, someone who doesn't have any abilities. Naruto wasn't the first that he was testing on. It's been hundreds. Orochimaru had his own reason, his own goals. Despite once being a famous Sannin, he had his own reason for doing things. Yet Naruto did not scream, he did not make a fuss. He just lay there, accepting the pain, accepting it all. This was just another form of his cursed life, as Naruto lay there. Orochimaru saw something intriguing when he isolated the compound from Naruto's blood. What the hell? The serum did not just fizzle out. Orochimaru was able to isolate it in its purest form. This is... He looked towards the boy unconscious. He knew that there was something that had to be special about him. There was something that had to be special about this child. And he was right. He thought that he needed years of observation and plotting, but Minato, Kushina, believed that simply removing Naruto would, well, get rid of everything else. But they were wrong. So wrong. When Orochimaru wasn't experimenting on him, Naruto sat in a room. He had no hope of escaping, not that he wanted to. Naruto lay there. He didn't want to eat, despite the Sannin telling him that he had to. He couldn't have him wasting away, especially after that. As Naruto lay there, he felt a warm hand caress his cheek. When Naruto opened his eyes, her dim blue eyes were the first thing that he saw. As Naruto gazed at her, Luna? He said, confused, shocked, not understanding what was going on. You're dead. Yes, I am. But a part of me never left you. You are my everything, she said, and I am yours. A part of me will always stay by your side. I don't understand. Just think of me as your consciousness. The part of you that really wants to see me again. The parts of you that want to live. The part of you that despise this entire system. Guess what? You can change it. And you can exact your revenge on everyone. Revenge? Yes. You, Naruto. You are powerful. I am? Yes, you are. You possess powers greater than anyone in this world. You just haven't truly awakened them yet. While everyone is injected, everyone is changed. Your power is so great that it takes a while. And this man, he's put your body through hell. And through that, your body has finally risen to the point that it's needed to truly show you what you're capable of. Haven't you wondered those 2 times? You tried to take your own life, but you woke up unaffected by even death. I do, but I never understand why. Yes, because I told you, the original me, the life is precious. To stop any thought of that. But now it's time to focus on it. You see, you're special because of your blood. Your parents, they created something that they had no idea to truly understand. The doctors, they failed because they truly don't know what you are. But I am here now. I am the part of you. To make you know, to make you understand that you are powerful, she said. All you need to do, she stepped forward caressing his cheek, is to feel it, to understand each and every part of you, to feel the power coursing through you. You felt yourself being sick for the longest time now, but you are not. Your body is simply changing, evolving, growing, and it's purging all the things that make you weak out of your system, because you're growing stronger and stronger. Pain does not bother you anymore. It's not that you feel it but ignore it, but pain is becoming a thing of the past, and soon it will be non-existence. All you need to do is to accept me, and I can give you what you want. Just like I promise, I shall give you a purpose. All you need to do is to accept me, Naruto, she said. Please. As Naruto looked at her, he put his arms around her. Please, he whispered. Don't leave me again. I beg you, he said to her. She smiled. Her body seemed to fuse into his, but this was all in his mind. I will never leave you again. I promise, she said. The metal door opened up as 2 of Orochimaru people arrived. It's time to go. One to the right, one to the left. However, when Naruto looked up, they screamed. Orochimaru arrived minutes later to find his men. One of their heads were to the left wall, while his torso was to the right, his arms to the back wall. The other had been turned into a smudge on the wall. The Sannin followed the trail of bodies, arriving to see a gaping hole in the wall. He tried to find the child, but he had no luck. Orochimaru stood there, shocked. How is this? He rushed back inside, moving towards the security cameras that were up as he pressed the latest feed. He watches the 2 men open the metal door. The next moment, blood. He quickly went back and clicked on the camera inside of the cell. He saw Naruto's eyes. They were red. Glistening red, almost like they were bleeding. It came from his chest. A strange tentacle, glowing red. It seemed to have thousands of teeth, like a parasite. It ripped into the first guy's arm and tore it off, tearing through the second one and ripping him apart. However, the child's movements were stagnant, like he wasn't in control, like he was in a haze. When he arrived to the wall, he simply punched clean through it and walked out. Orochimaru watched as he could not see from beyond the base right there. What the hell? He thought to himself as he moved back to the lab. The small amount of compound V that he got from the child system, something that should not be possible. Orochimaru decided to keep this close. This boy was more than any of them believed. Time skip. When Naruto opened his eyes, he was back in his apartment. He had faded memories of what happened. He felt different. Naruto made his way towards a broken table. As he grabbed two pieces and pried it open like it was nothing, his strength had been increased. See, I told you that you were special, Luna said as she leaned against the wall. What happened? Said Naruto. To the outside view, no one was there, but he could see her. It's your powers manifesting. You are beyond your appearance. They believe you to be powerless, so they injected you over and over. The process was done more than once. They were so disappointed. They had no idea that they were making you even more special. Your power is simply latent, unable to truly be manifested until now. Because you're different. Naruto opened his hand as crimson lightning started to flash in his palm. Not only do you have their powers, but you have something else as well. Naruto felt his chest twist and turn. He watched as a parasite erupted. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Luna said, you are the one that will bring changes. You are the one that will start anew. Isn't that what you want? She said. Know that you have the power to make things different. Isn't that what you desire? To make them suffer. You can become strong. Stronger than anyone can even imagine. Strong enough to crush them both and annihilate your entire bloodline. To get revenge. To make them suffer. Tell me, she said. Isn't that what you want? And to bring me back. Naruto blinked. Bring you back? Yes. As I told you, a part of me will always be with you. Unfortunately, though, you're not strong enough just yet, but soon you will be. And you can bring me back. And together, by your side, which I will never leave, we can do everything. Everything you ever desired. Everything you ever wanted. All you need to do is to fully accept this. What you are now. That's all. Give yourself over to me. Over to your powers. Over to your will. And you will feel the change. It will be so amazing. Don't you trust me? She said. Of course I do. With my life. As Naruto moved forward, this time him being the one to take the initiative. I give myself over to you. She smiled and enveloped him. Soon, she said, whispering in his ears, everything shall be perfect. When Naruto opened his eyes, he felt different. The parasites in his chest are not just parasites. They were special. Orochimaru said it himself. The compound V in Naruto's system, which should not be there, is still surfacing through him. That was just a fragment of what Naruto truly was. Minato and Kushina had the doctors inject Naruto around 50 times. Yes, you heard that right. He was their firstborn. They wanted to ensure that he had powers. The 50 different injection was 50 different compound V enter Naruto's system. It did not grant him multiple different powers. Well, the parasite could be seen as a different power, but it granted him something superior, something special, something that his body was able to sustain. And now that it was brought to the surface, the powers that he was gifted from his parents were also brought to the surface as well. The super strength, the electricity, the rest had yet to come. But this was just the start. The start of everything. The start of a new, As Naruto smiled to himself, feeling this erratic, overwhelming sensation coursing through him, trying to understand what it all means. But there was one thing for sure. He had the power now to make them suffer. He had the power now to kill Supes. A wicked smile plastered on his face. But guys, be into right here. If you want to see part 2 for this, just go ahead, comment down below and tell me, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible. Don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs on the other channels. All the links will be down in the description. So yeah, without further ado or wasting any more time, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.